I know I did this lesson for either my morning class or my afternoon class. I don't remember which, so we're gonna go over it again. Probably just a kind of a quicker lesson of it, but this is gonna be the life cycle of a plant. Without further ado, let's talk about the parts of the plant, remember. These are the roots, stem, leaves, flower, and the seeds. Very good. What does this show a picture of? There's a lot of different seeds in here, and seeds are amazing because the seeds are what's the start of a new plant. The seed already has that tiny little plant ready to grow out of it. So you plant it, that seed starts to come out, it grows a little bit more, the roots come, it keeps growing and it keeps growing, and this little thing right here, that's called a seedling. Seedling. Say that with me. Seedling. Very good. Here's a picture of the seedling right here. It's got the roots. You'll notice in the last picture that each time, with each cycle of it growing, it got longer and longer and the stem got a little bit taller. So you can see it's growing. Craziest thing ever. This right here is an acorn. This is what the acorn can turn into. Can you believe that this tiny little thing can become that? It's kind of amazing, right? That is like so cool. It starts out as a little tiny seed and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what's funny is squirrels and chipmunks love to chew on their little acorns, and what they do is they go and hide them. Sometimes they forgot where they hid them or they don't grab them in time and the acorns actually start to sprout. They become seeds and all of a sudden, boom! Years later there's an acorn tree. It starts to grow and it gets bigger and bigger each year as a new layer of bark is grown around it. This here, so a little plant, baby plant is called a seedling. A little what? Miss Chandler, oh my goodness. A little tree, a baby tree is called a sapling. Can you say that with me? Sapling. So this is the sapling right here. It's just kind of like a young little tree. This is when it's more like an adult tree. It's a lot older, it's gotten bigger and wider because the bark has grown around it each year, making a layer of bark, which makes the rings when you cut a tree down. That's the layers of bark growing every year. And this is unfortunately a dead tree. Now, funny thing is a lot of our trees kind of look like that right now, but they're not actually dead. Those trees are sleeping, so shh, don't wake them up. Don't wake those trees up. No. These trees are ones that are dead. The way that you can tell the difference is because let's pretend you find a tree branch on the ground. So you pick it up and you snap it open. And you'll see that some of them that are dry and dead, they just look yellow and brownish on the inside. But ones that are still kind of alive have a little bit of green in it. That's called wick. And that means that they're still alive, except for that it just fell from a tree. So that one's not still alive. So don't go doing this by taking the branch off the tree. No. You can do that by picking it up off the ground. Crazy thing, when a tree gets old, it falls over, and then it starts to decompose. The trunk starts to decompose and break down. Bacteria and other things around it in the environment make it break down into small little things until it becomes soil. Right there, that is soil. And then what can grow in soil? Plants and trees. So it's like a really cool cycle where it starts out like a tree, think, it falls over, becomes the bark, and then it decomposes into the soil. This takes an extremely long time. But what about for a flower? Let's talk about for a flower. Starts out as a seed. The seed starts to bloom and grow just a little bit. Grows even more. It becomes a flower. The flower gets old, starts to die, and the seeds come out of the middle of the flower. And then those seeds start a new plant. So it's like a cycle. It starts as a seed, it grows even more. Here's the flower. Seeds fall out of the flower. Seeds grow. Starts to grow even more. Grows more. Becomes a flower. And it goes in the cycle over and over and over again. Pretty awesome. And that is the end of that lesson. So